show you something I've been experimenting with about the particle emitter. So I'll show you an example with the moveset I'm currently making. Nothing to do with it, it's literally just to show you what I've discovered. So ignore how it looks. This is early. It's not, how do I say it? I'm not gonna use this permanently. Okay, the bat will probably stay. Well, it will stay. You see the smoke? You see the low poly looking smoke? I'm gonna show you how to make that using the particle emitter, which is literally the only way to make it, but sure. So, let's check the character block and show you, I'll say the first one. Ignore all the variants, and I'll discuss the entire thing later in some other video, excuse me. So yeah, here's the particle emitter. You can get literally any smoke VFX or smoke looking VFX. I just prefer this smoke VFX. I've tested quite a few whilst experimenting and trying to make this moveset, so yeah, it's pretty nice. Anyways, so part size, it can be whatever. I'll kind of give you small pointers to making the low poly effect and what the main parts are to making low poly effects. Part size can be whatever. Texture is whatever you prefer. I prefer this, so if you want to use it, copy it down. No rush. Emit count can be literally whatever. I'd say 20 is a pretty good amount, but you can do a collective 80 or 100 because it will make it look nicer. Rate can be anything. As you see. But higher rate without duration will lead to lag. So I'd say like a small rate, like 2, because you're just gonna use a lot, so it kind of tracks. So when they get knocked back, it goes 1, 2, 3. They go across the spaces for the particles to appear. So color, leave it blank. Size 0 to whatever. Because for the first part, it's going to be the non-low poly effect. So it's going to be the smallest at the beginning, and then it's going to get larger for the actual low poly. Brightness, I'd just say 1 because I did not change it. I might test with it. Transparency, 0 to 1. Squash, 0, 0. Lifetime. Again, it really depends, but it depends a lot on your size. So if you made it extremely large at the beginning, you have to have a shorter lifetime. Speed 2. It can be literally whatever. I have not tested too much. Rotation -80, 180 to 180. It really just is the starting rotation of a texture, which will make it very random, but also give you a low poly. Rotation speed, which is just if it rotates. So it does not follow a rotation. It just rotates in a circle, really. Basically, it rotates in a spherical shape, so it just goes 360 all the way around. So if you want to use rotation speed, I'd say about this would be nice if you want to keep the low poly effect. Acceleration. The acceleration in world space. So technically, if you have higher acceleration at the beginning, it's going to shoot back and then it's going to start moving, which is also what drag does. So basically, it will be, let's say, like this. You'll see it going all the way to the left over there. And then drag stops it, basically. So, yeah. I don't really get this one too much though. I think it's just like how fast it can go, like maximum amount of speed it can go from the XYZ coordinates, but I'd rather think of it as how much it goes to one direction and then stops. So think of it as, instead of just like how fast it can go, is just distance. So like position, but a little bit more inconsistent, which is what we want for like smoke effects. Light emission 0, light influence 1, so it's actually smoke or dust or whatever you want, like for dashes and stuff. Offset doesn't really matter, so yeah. But offset depths, here's how it works. Basically, if I have the effect at like -10, it's gonna appear behind me no matter what. It's going to look like it's behind me. If I put it at +10, it's gonna look like it's on, it's like overlay. It's gonna look like an overlay. So, and then 1 would just be where it is in the world, in like the 3D world. So if the smoke was here, then it'd stay there, and if my body was over it, then you wouldn't be able to see it. But if it was like -10, then it would be basically impossible to see. It'd be hard to see because it's always gonna be rendered behind your model. And for offset +10, it's gonna always be rendered in front of your model. So yeah, for a smoke effect, I feel like an offset of 1 works because it's gonna be a little bit above, but a little bit below. So yeah, spread angle, depending on where you want it to go. So basically, it will sort of spread out. So let's say it's collective in one central point. Let's say like on my head, and then it spreads out from -100, -100. So throughout its trip to -100, it's gonna keep on spreading out. So this doesn't really matter to low poly effect. It just makes it so that when the smoke comes out, it's gonna start spreading across the floor. Position doesn't really matter. Locked apart doesn't really matter. Now limb, I'd say if you really like smoke like over the body when someone gets hit, like how I'm doing with my M1s, you should put it onto torso, because torso is easily tracked, whilst humanoid root part is like a very still object. So it's gonna be way too consistent where it doesn't look like smoke, whilst torso is gonna be inconsistent enough where it looks like smoke, but not so inconsistent that it's gonna look weird. So the two orientation types you're going to be using is facing camera world up and velocity perpendicular. For these two things, they just come together and look so nice. So yeah, that's why 2 of them are like different and stuff. So yeah. Emission direction really depends. For me, it's back, so it comes from the back to the front, and from front it goes from front to back. Bottom is from bottom to top, and then top is from top to bottom, and right is from right to left, left to right. So yeah. Now flipbook. Flipbook's one of the main ingredients to this. Flipbook size 20 to 60. 20 through 60 just makes no sense for me. It just looks visually pleasing. But here's why flipbook is important. Basically, it's gonna put many different sections of it, which is why color sort of matters. Because the smoke is already one color, it's going to be from white to the actual smoke color. So it's gonna keep on going from this point all the way, and there's gonna be about like 40 in between. So it's gonna pick a random one of those in between due to something to flipbook frame rate, which is 1010. So yeah, it's fun because it's basically, this one is too small, so it's gonna go for a higher value. This one is also way too small, so it's gonna look for a higher value between 40. So yeah, ping pong will just be like one to another, bing 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 bing. You'll understand once you like actually try this. And then you'd have random, which would just be completely random. Emitter shape, I don't really know what this would do. Emitter shape in out, I do not know what this would do. I just choose outward because it's the default. option, and then all of this is like, yeah. So that's how you make a low poly effect for your smoke. Just to demonstrate. See, that's the effect you get from using this. So please subscribe and stay hydrated.